That's how y'all feel? Y'all don't want to hear what I have to say about the subject? We first like to say no one condones violence and breaking in homes and any of that stuff whatsoever. But in case you've been under a rock, Nancy Pelosi's husband, who's been in the news a lot, based on the fact that he had a DUI that was allegedly covered up and hid away, is now back in the news for being attacked from a home invasion yesterday by a man with a hammer who came in asking for Nancy a week before the election. Yep, this is what we're heading for. Now, allegedly, this person posted pictures of 9/11, not 9/11, but C-19, uh, January 6th, all of these different memes he was posting on his social media. And this person is the guy responsible for blah, blah, X, Y, and Z. Now, if you know that, then you know that this scenario isn't suffice. This isn't the way to go out. Now, it seems clearly that this person who went to do this act led breadcrumbs of a trail that's going to lead to what? By posting all these things on your social media, they're basically connecting this person to being a Trump supporter. Everything would allude to that. C-19, the 2020 election, January 6th. They specifically put that on there when they told the story. Well, I'm just saying, it just sounds a bit fishy. A week before the election, a man will decide he's going to break into the house of Nancy Pelosi from a guy named David Pat. He tries to tie him up in San Francisco. This goes down in San Francisco. That someone can just break into the house of Nancy Pelosi and try to tie her husband up, and they're asking for Nancy.
Amazon offers free technical training programs to help employees advance into higher paying careers.
Well, that's good for them. But you're telling me that a man by himself decided in his infinite wisdom to penetrate and go for the Speaker of the House of California in their San Francisco home, who's attached himself to Trump on social media in the week of the election, and allegedly attacked this man with a hammer. If he came in with a hammer looking for Nancy and then found him and decided to tear him up, How did he get in the home armed with just a hammer to get that close? Now, they claim that he was attacked by a hammer. A hammer. That the man kept shouting, "Where is Nancy? Where is Nancy?" They said by the police chief, whose name is William Scott, a brother. Hey, Nene. This David DePap, who's 42, is now facing charges of attempted homicide, assault, and with a deadly weapon, elder abuse, burglary, and several other felony charges stemming from the incident that happened at 2 a.m. in the morning. Paul Pelosi is 82 years old. 82 years old. Now, the police said they responded to a well-being check and found DePap and Paul Pelosi, 82, struggling over a hammer. He said officers then witnessed Dave DePap, pulled the hammer away and violently assaulted him with a hammer. Officers then immediately tackled DePap, disarming him, and took him into custody while requesting emergency backup and medical aid at the scene. And they said the motive for the attack is under investigation. Then this is the first report. So, who called a well-being check? If it was just those two in the house, how would they know to do a well-being check on the house? Who called to say now's the time you should probably do a well-being check at 2 o'clock in the morning? A well-being check at 2 o'clock in the morning? This just doesn't make sense to me. None of this makes sense. Does this make sense to people? Now, I'm going off of what the information that they're feeding us. Now, of course, my common sense level sends out red flags. This guy is a nudist, by the way. He looks like an individual who's off his rocker. But let's get to the gist of this. They say the incident happened a little bit after 2 a.m. in the morning. They did a wellness check, a well-being check. They were responding to a well-being check after 2 o'clock in the morning. And DePap and Paul Pelosi, 82, were struggling over a hammer. Then he said officers witnessed DePap pulling the hammer away from Pelosi and violently assaulting him. They witnessed all of this. And what was they doing? Sitting back like, they're fighting over this hammer. Oh, he got the hammer. Oh, we got to get in there now. what the hell is going on here? Then they tackled him, disarmed him, and took him into custody. Then they gave Pelosi medical treatment on the scene. So now Paul Pelosi's expected to make a full recovery. Now there was this amazing 911 dispatcher who quickly had the intuition that there was something more to the incident that was being told. I mean, you're having heroes come out of everywhere from this thing. They wanted to thank Heather Greaves for her intuition, her quick thinking. She had to interpret what she was being told, and based on her experience with her intuition, she basically figured out that there was something more to this incident that was being told. Her actions resulted in both high priority dispatch and a faster police response. And there's the troubled soul, the terror. That man decided it was going to be a good day to go ahead and attack Nancy Pelosi's family and break into their house, their home, which I'm quite sure is very well secured. They allow this man to get that close with a hammer. He looks like he suffers from mental illness, someone who was used as a proxy. At 2 o'clock in the morning, this incident happens, and then there's a wellness check at 2 o'clock in the morning. Just to find these two fighting over a hammer. The story sounds insane. Completely insane. What were they doing before the police got there? Sitting down having a cup of tea? And then they decide we're going to struggle for a hammer. He's finna struggle with an 82-year-old man for what, 10, 20 minutes till the cops show up? The story sounds insane. Insane. When they said we came in and they were struggling for the hammer when we walked in, then he pulls the hammer away and strikes him a couple of times, and then we tackle him to the ground. I said, well, that sounds very much like a movie. That seems like just the time when people walk into a movie. They walk into a room on a movie, people are fighting over the knife. Oh my God. I don't know if you say it's staged. I'm not going to go that far. I'm just going to say elections next week. Her chair is up next week. It's a close race. Sympathy votes. anything to hurt the other side. And when you see stuff like this happen a week before the election, it seems a little unbelievable to me. The timing of it, all of it, just sounds absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, it sounds real ludicrous. Even when I heard it back, I just said, yep, this is crazy. Yeah, well, people got to learn that not everything you hear is little too convenient for comfort. They got the intruder, and all of a sudden on his social media, he's got the 2020 election, he's got the C-19, he's got January 6 memes up. Yep, he's just the guy. And the real target was Nancy. He came in and screamed, "Where's Nancy? Where's Nancy?" They wanted to make that known because she's running for office, and quite sure she'll mention this in her next speech as election rolls around next week. Things get more goofy and crazy as election time rolls around. This is when you stay in the house as much as you can. There'll be all kind of craziness. Somebody run you off a cliff. That poor guy. He was going to vote and he was run off the cliff by someone who didn't want him to vote. They knew that that guy was ready for making a change. And someone, I think he had a Trump sticker on the back of his car, ran him off the road. Oh my God. Tell you, man, these people are nuts. They will do anything to get you to vote and sway your vote. Playing victim seems to be the best medicine, and they are continuing to do it over and over again. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. And hey, when no black people involved, I'm out.